Socure, which is using AI for digital identity verification, was among the companies in Davos last week for the World Economic Forum as part of WEF's unicorn community. Well, before founder and CEO Johnny Ayers traveled to Switzerland, he was in Las Vegas this past fall at Money 2020 USA, and he told JD Durkin how his platform is uniquely suited to help clients. Let's take a look.
We've built out really every dimension of how you verify a consumer's identity: email, phone, device, physical documents, faces, and it allows us to really solve a wide variety of problems: new account opening, login, authentication, money movement. We were talking earlier, call center, digital, in branch. It really gives us a holistic view of helping our customers make smarter identity and risk decisions.
I think identity, risk, digital ID, ultimate trust and verification, these are issues that should matter to each and every one of us, but I don't know how many people really go about their day-to-day actively thinking about it. Set the stage for me a bit. How important is it for the average user, the average person out there, to take these issues more seriously, and what would you more want them to know about what's at stake?
Well, I mean, we certainly are a B2B business, right? So obviously, you know, the primary purpose is to help enterprises make smarter risk decisions, right? Ensure that they're providing beautiful, seamless user experiences to consumers, businesses coming in the front door, ensuring that it's the real JD coming back, right, in a login event or an authentication event. And so I think first and foremost, we're working very hard to protect, I think, consumers' identities from being stolen, working very hard to hopefully create beautiful user experiences for them as they kind of utilize their identities across the web.
To the enterprise portion, you're working with banks, you're working with fintechs, governments. What has been the feedback from them? And ultimately, what do you see as being the biggest gaps that they need filled, that you feel Socure is most uniquely positioned to address?
Yeah, Socure serves more than 3,000 enterprises. We are in 18 of the top 20 banks. We're in 600 plus fintechs, but as you alluded to, we're also in 9 federal agencies, over 60 state local agencies. We're in all the big sports book, all the big prediction markets, most of the major marketplaces, all the big HR tech providers. And we've been doing a lot more work around workforce verification and actually ensuring that people that are being hired are who they say they are. Our real secret sauce is we've built a very large graph. We've built a massive end-to-end view of a consumer's identity globally. And this really at the end allows us to utilize machine learning, utilize AI to help our customers make smarter decisions about, is this JD in this moment in time? Is JD a real person? Is this JD? Do I want to do business with JD? Can I do business with them? And so for each of those, we say yes to more good consumers faster, more seamless, and with less fraud and less manual review. And so this is a very, very clear kind of business case that permeates really every inch of the internet.
There's no doubt that the customers you're serving, all these enterprise names, they would like to focus on their core business, and I'm sure they tell you we'd like to consider this stuff as least as possible. Any real world examples that most stand out to you on where you've really positioned yourself to help the enterprises that you're partnering with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I think some of the new prediction markets, right? I'd say, you know, trending toward younger populations. Many of them have launched internationally, and so they're like, hey, we need Socure to help verify hard to verify young consumers. We need to do it fast. We need to do it seamless. We need to do it sub-second. And you know, we had one of the co-founders of the largest prediction market ping us and say, we're going international. And we're like, which countries? All countries. And so they also need a partner that's flexible, global, has an ability to be fast, accurate, performant, but also do it at a global scale in milliseconds. And so, you know, these are a couple of areas. Certainly, we could go across really every consumer, almost every business use case, and give hundreds of areas where Socure has been critically, a mission-critical partner.
Yeah, I'd imagine that flexibility is no small challenge when you're dealing with different countries, different regulations, different rules of the road. How does that flexibility allow you to somewhat adapt maybe your approach with these enterprises, knowing that the way you do business in one country, Johnny, can be so different from the country right next door?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, it hits home here too, right? We have a fragmentation in many of these businesses just at the state level, right? Where you have different state laws that require different strategies, different rules, different policies. So our Risk OS decisioning engine allows total flexibility, right? They are fully customizable building blocks. You could have a strategy for web versus mobile. You could have a strategy of, Alabama versus New York. You could have a different strategy, by product, by channel, by country. And so we enable complete flexibility for our customers to solve whatever problem they need at that point in time. Certainly we are experts, right? We've been doing this for, more than a decade now. And so there's a lot of consultative work that we do for each of our clients, depending upon the problem, the regulatory environment, the geography. and then we have technology underneath that makes it entirely flexible to fit their needs.
Now, that's a great point, especially here in a state like Nevada, when you talk about the sports books and these prediction markets. This state has always had fundamentally different rules than a lot of the other 49 states. What do you think the future of identity verification really looks like as we soon enough turn the page into 2026 with AI and an agentic-based future taking center stage?
Yeah, AI has obviously made committing fraud much cheaper, right? And at the end of the day, fraud's a business. So as the cost of doing it has come down, you can actually do way more. And so AI also allows a tremendous amount of automation. And so we are seeing fraud rampant across really every use case, every industry, from unemployment to DMVs to obviously the largest financial institutions in the world, sportsbook, marketplaces, really anyone that is moving money or has something of value, you see fraud permeating quite extensively. Within that, we see stolen identities, we see synthetic identities, we obviously see deepfakes and injection attacks en masse. You see voice clones. Really all of these more sophisticated tools that AI have really enabled. So each of these can be utilized to permeate different types of fraud events. I think as we move into the agentic world, identity and knowing this is actually JD becomes even more critical. Is this JD? What permissions does JD have? Right? What is the mandate that he's given? Are there limits? Are there caps? What's the downstream impact of dispute and returns? And so there's a really interesting kind of a view that we're taking of what's the assertion of an identity, how do you assert that to an agent, and then how do you basically give that agent a certain amount of controls or rules to act on behalf of you. And so all of this to deliver a beautiful consumer experience, but in the face of mounting very sophisticated fraud attacks. And so it's a fun time to be in the business, yeah, certainly 2026 is likely going to accelerate even further.
Thanks again to Socure founder and CEO Johnny Ayers and JD Durkin, of course, for that interview in Las Vegas.